You know, Friday, Kurt Nimmo wrote a story about David Carradine, I guess, dying last Thursday. And I haven't talked about it because we got so many other big issues to cover. But it is an interesting case point example in how the media works. Larry King Live had his lawyer and friends and family on saying he was investigating secret societies and going to do some production on it in the future and going to be going public. And I had separately heard from some folks in Hollywood that David Carradine was indeed involved in that. And I'd actually been contacted about a year ago by someone close to Carradine, and I'd just been so busy. I played phone tag with David Carradine. I mean, literally, I get calls from Hollywood people all the time, and I'm just so busy, and they're busy. And like we talked to the director of the film that Anne Heche is in, and you know, their listeners, they're aware of the show. She wants to come on, but who knows if that'll even ever happen because people get so busy. Busy people got stuff going on. But the issue is, I should have gotten Carradine on. I should have gotten Hunter S. Thompson on. Turned out one of his best friends, writer for the Toronto Star, came on the show right after he died and said, no, he was aware of your work and the New World Order and was going to write a book about Bohemian Grove, which was bizarre because he'd been accused in a book of being involved in Bohemian Grove, which I find curious because then he did write some articles talking about the elites and how they were a bunch of pedophiles. So very, very strange, but I never reached out. Here's another example. I get sent a signed lithograph for me of an empty birdcage by Kurt Vonnegut. I talked to his well-known business partner, Joe Petro. I ought to get Joe on. Joe said he'd come on. I just get so busy with the news, I don't think to do it. And he said, no, Kurt likes your films, wanted me to send you this. He's real old right now and doesn't want to do any public speaking, but he might do your show. And he'd just given a speech saying, I'm done. He gave it at his alma mater and said, I'm gone now. You won't see me again. And then he died a year later. But in my house, I have signed Kurt Vonnegut to Alex, birdcage. I mean, a lithograph he did. Kurt Vonnegut. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. I grew up with my parents being huge fans of Kurt Vonnegut. Slaughterhouse-5, Sirens of Titan. I read that stuff when I was a teenager. I guess that went into forming my political views. And then he was dead. So I guess with these, I'm going to call Keanu Reeves up. I'm going to call Woody Harrelson up. I'd forgotten I did have his number. I'm going to really just go ahead and start trying to push to get these celebrities on because it's always gets so much news attention and really then that hype helps us reach a whole new audience. And I'm just not starstruck is my point. I'm kind of struck with all the news and information, so I never remember to cover all the key info. And that I could get set up. I could get arrested. I could get killed. This David Carradine thing shows that. And they always like to kill you in a sexually embarrassing way. I've predicted that if they ever kill me, one of the ways they'll do it's in a drive-by shooting or a carjacking or grab me, drug me up, put me dead in a hotel room, and kill a hooker next to me. Now, that's one of their favorite ways to do it. And I have no doubt they probably killed David Carradine because I knew he was working on this. But we wrote a story just mentioning Larry King Live and other TV shows saying he was about to come out with conspiracies. And then German news is saying we're reporting it. No, CNN is. But German newspapers are reporting off InfoWars. So that's just classic media. This is not our conspiracy theory. News is saying conspiracy theory website, Infowars.com. It's not a conspiracy theory. Okay? It's not a conspiracy theory. This stuff is going on. And my gut tells me they killed David Carradine. And I have no doubt that what's been reported on that his dad was part of some organizations is probably true. Most of Hollywood, especially at that time, was. My experience now is Hollywood at the star levels rebelled against all that and is sick of their Crowleyan roots. Okay, we will start the next hour, ladies and gentlemen. PrisonPlanet.tv and Infowars.com, the websites.
Newsflash. Unemployment is soaring over 10%. The dollar is plummeting, and banks are beginning to close their doors. Financial experts are saying we are headed for an economic depression. The world is on the brink of total meltdown. Unless you expect the government to bail you out, you must be able to grow your own healthy food. Newsflash. SurvivalistSeeds.com has just released a brand new heirloom seed pack at a dramatically reduced price. So you and your family have a long-term food solution. The choice between between starvation and freedom is made by you right now. Go to survivalistseeds.com. That's survivalistseeds.com, because you are almost out of time. Survivalistseeds.com.